How are you feeling in this moment? Taking this opportunity to turn inward and just notice a few things. Emotionally, energetically, physically, whatever comes to mind. Begin to deepen your inhales here, breathing through the nose, and then maybe for a few rounds of breath, you'd like to exhale through an open mouth and sigh if you like. Letting go of any holding with your out breath. And then just return to the natural rhythm of the breath. Let's start tonight by drawing attention to the palms of the hands. So just with your mind's eye, send your mind's eye to this area and just notice whatever you notice here. It might be different for everyone. Maybe there's very little that you notice, but if you tune into that area, you might notice a little bit of moving energy, maybe a tingling or a warming sensation. A buzzing or just a notice of energy in that area, whatever that feels like for you. So by doing that, it just makes us realize and aware that we are able to, when we move our attention to an area of the body, we can really mobilize energy that might be held there. So we use that idea today as we go through our movement practice. Drawing the mind's eye to different areas of the body, maybe moving stuck energy, releasing tension, anything that we don't need that we're able to let go of. So just take a moment here on your own and complete a body scan, whether that's from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet or from the feet up to the head. Just moving through different areas of the body, joints, muscles, tissues, organs even. Just see if you notice that there's maybe some holding in particular areas or an area. And just be aware of that. Through a practice, maybe we can focus on sending energy to those areas. And then when you've completed your body scan, let's take an all-over body stretch here. Gently awakening the body, reaching along with the feet to one end of the mat and taking the arms past your head, reaching with the fingertips in the opposite direction. Take a few breaths here, really reaching and stretching with your inhales. And then with your exhales, just releasing, relaxing back down onto your mat. And from here, we'll bend into the knees. Slowly draw the knees in towards the chest and wrap the arms around the shins or place a hand on each knee, maybe finding a little movement that feels good. You might want to circle the knees, massaging the lower back in a circular direction, or you might want to rock side to side. If you're moving in a circular direction, take this opportunity to change directions now. And then find stillness. From here, we're going to just bring the arms out from the shoulders, cactus, or lengthen them from the shoulders into capital T, and just drop the knees over to the right gently. It's a bit early in the practice for a deep spinal twist, then you can always place a block underneath that right knee as you twist to the right. And as you do so, your gaze can come over your left arm. And if you want a little bit more, the right hand can draw that left knee down on top of the right knee, drawing both of the knees towards the earth. A couple more nice deep breaths here. And then unwind, bringing your gaze back towards the sky first, and then drawing the knees up using your core. And we'll allow the knees to fall over to the left side now. Finding a position where you're supported enough that you found some sensation, but not too much. It's still fairly early in the practice. Using a block maybe to prop up that left knee. And you're gently drawing your right shoulder blade down towards the earth as your gaze is over your right hand. And then gently unwind, bringing the gaze up first of all, and then the knees as you engage the core. We'll flex into the feet and send the soles up towards the sky. Arms are long at your sides, pressing the lower back into the mat, and then just find a little bit of movement through the ankles. Whatever that looks like for you tonight. Circles or pointing and flexing. A little bit of cracking going on here. And then find stillness through the ankles. Take the arms long at the sides as they are, I guess, and maybe just walk the thumbs underneath the hips a little bit. A little support for the lower back here. So press the lower back into the mat, and then we'll just start to scissor kick the legs, and you can make this as big as you'd like. So taking the left or the right leg down first, it can come to hover, or it doesn't have to come down that far. And then as you bring it up, the opposite leg lowers down. So they're crossing somewhere towards the mid range of motion. And just nice and slow and controlled here. Creating a little bit of heat in the body, warming up the abdominals. We'll go for about 2 more each side. And the next time the right leg comes up, leave the left leg down to hover. And then draw the hands behind that right thigh. Or maybe they walk up a little bit to the right calf. I'll just leave it to you tonight. Listen to your body and see what your body's asking for. It might be different than yesterday, might be different than tomorrow will be. So you can keep the upper body relaxed on the mat, or you can draw up a little bit, lifting your head and shoulders as you draw that right leg towards you. Nice flex in both of the ankles. Take another nice deep breath. And then with control, we'll lower the right leg to hover. That was my ring. And the left leg will rise. And again, doing whatever you want with the upper body. So you can draw the upper body a little bit closer, raising it towards the knee and the thigh. In any case, you're going for a nice lengthening sensation on that left hamstring. And then bend into that left knee, bend into both knees, release the upper body to the mat and set both feet to either side of your mat. Bring the arms to cactus and we'll just take a little psoas swish here, or windshield, wipe the knees from side to side. Feel free to link the movement with your breath if you like. Maybe exhaling to lower and inhaling to bring the knees up. And then next time the knees come up, we'll leave them high. Walk the feet in. Draw the knees towards the chest one more time. Maybe find a little movement. See how things are feeling. And then place a hand on each knee. And we'll draw the knees open as we breathe in. And as we exhale, draw the knees, circle them back together. So work in one direction to start. 3 or 4 rounds. And then guide the knees in the opposite direction. So hands are supporting and guiding here. Nice big circles. And then we'll come to rest, knees towards the chest. And we'll come up to seated. Actually, we're gonna come up to boat pose and just hold for a few breaths. So you can place the hands behind the knees if you like and rock your way up to a balanced boat pose or however you'd like to get there. And then when you get there, just find your version of boat tonight. So you might be supporting behind the knees with the hands. Hands might be resting behind. Hands might be reached out, reaching for the feet. The legs could be extended. All different options for you. And we'll take 3 breaths. Here, we'll come forward, place the feet on the ground, with the knees bent, wrap your arms around the shins and just tuck the chin, opening up through the back of the neck, taking a couple breaths, slowing down. Maybe feeling the beat of the heart here, perhaps a little bit elevated from when we began practice. Maybe you're feeling a little warm. I'm just going to take off a layer. We're going to meet in child's pose. So we'll make our way there, maybe coming through tabletop. And then taking the knees just as wide as you'd like tonight. Toes come together and then send the hips back, reaching the arms forward. Your forehead could come to a block, maybe the backs of the hands, maybe the forehead's on the earth. And take a few breaths here, opening up through the hips, the shoulders, connecting with the breath again. If you feel like it, you could shift back and forth a little bit, like swaying a little bit. See how that feels from the right hip to the left. great opportunity when we hold a pose for a little bit, just to explore and give your body what it needs, just to find out what your body does need. So taking a different variation of a pose often turns on a little light bulb and say, oh, okay, I haven't done it that way before. And that's a good option. And then coming back to stillness, we'll come forward to our tabletop pose. Find our cat-cow movement here. So setting up with shoulders beneath the wrists and hips above the knees. Inhale, lift the tailbone and the chin. Sink the belly. And exhale around the spine. Lower the head and the tail. Just move through a few more of these. Again, exploring, finding any variation of cat-cow that you would like that serves you tonight. Just going for some gentle movement through the spine and linking it with our breath. And you've done one more in each direction. Just make your way back to a neutral spine and tabletop. Let's take the right leg out to the side and come into a straddle. So that right heel is going to be in line about with your right hip. And then let's take a few cat-cows in this variation. So again, sinking the belly, inhaling, gazing up, and exhaling to round the spine to see how this feels. You're going to get a little sensation in that inner right thigh, probably. Being very gentle though, not forcing anything. It might be more of a gentle cat-cow in this straddle position. Go one more in each direction. From here, we're going to take a thread the needle flow, and then we'll thread the needle. So take your right hand and just press that palm down into the mat. And as you inhale, twist and reach up to the left. And as you exhale, just thread that left hand through, but don't set the shoulder down yet. Inhale, bring it back, reach high. And this time we'll reach through and set the shoulder down. So ground down that left shoulder, maybe the left temple. And then you can press into the right palm to sort of intensify that opening through the shoulder blades, or you can reach long with the right hand. Again, take this opportunity to explore, maybe reaching up with the hand or bending the elbow and taking the hand to the hip. A little bit more opening through the chest that way. 2 more breaths. And then to release, press through that right palm. Come back to that straddle tabletop. And then from here, both hands are grounded down. We're going to lift that right leg up to about hip height. So a bit of work here, lifting that right leg up. Feels very heavy. And then I'll take it back behind us. Set the toes down, that right leg's long. And then we're going to pivot on the left knee. So pick up the left toes, pivot on the left knee, send that shin out like a kickstand, and then find a grounding with your left palm. We're going to reach the right arm up. So reach skyward first of all. And then when you're ready, reach long with that right arm past your right ear. Feel a really nice side body stretch down the right side of the body. And then we're going to return here to our tabletop or tabletop arms. That right leg still extended behind. We're going to lift the right heel now, so it's about at hip height, coming into our spinal balance. So setting up here, leveling the hips, and then reaching forward with the left hand. From here, 3 times, we're going to open the arm and the leg to opposite sides. So left arm moves open to the left, right leg comes forward, and then return long to that spinal balance. 2 more times on your own. And then when you're done, bring the left hand down. Round the spine, bend the right knee. Bring that right knee forward towards the chin. And then we're going to step the right foot forward, coming into a little lunge. And from here, lift the chest and lengthen through the spine. This is a place where blocks might come in handy. We'll just hold here for a moment. So you can either come up onto fingertips or maybe you're using blocks here. Lengthening through the spine, shining the heart forward. Nice deep breath. Opening through the left hip flexor. And then we'll take the hips back and bring the arms up. So finding our crescent moon here. There's another place that you might like a block. So you can bring a block just to the left side and to the right side. We're going to take a couple of side bends here. So make sure your stance is wide enough. Widen it if you don't feel too stable. Right foot towards the right edge of your mat, left knee towards the left. Arms rise. And then we're going to lean over to the left here to start. So left hand will come down, either fingertips to the earth or maybe to that block if you have one there. Reaching long, leaning to the left, reaching long with that right arm. And when you're ready, slowly rising up and using the strength of the core. Left arm will come up to meet the right, and we'll take that lean to the right now. So right hand will come down either to the earth or to a block. The left arm reaches long, feeling a nice opening in the front of that left hip. And then again, easily coming out, rising up, engaging the core, both arms come up. And then bring the hands back down, finding ourselves in that low lunge again. From here, we're going to take a little twist. So ground down through the left palm. Right hand can come to the inside of the right knee. You might want to step that. You might want to lengthen the left leg a little bit. And from here, you can just, as much as you like, just apply a little bit of pressure to the inside of that right knee, maybe opening a little, maybe coming right over onto that baby toe edge, that blade edge of your right foot, and then looking over your right shoulder. So just give yourself as much as you like, as much as you need in this area tonight. This can be intense. Take a couple of breaths. And let's return back to a neutral low lunge. From here, we're going to glide the hips back, lengthen the right leg, coming into half splits briefly. So almost like that cow pose here, you're lifting the tail and lengthening through the spine just to increase the sensation in that right hamstring. And then we're going to come forward into that low lunge again. Take the right knee back to meet the left. Now let's take a little breath in child's pose. Just find whatever version of child's pose you'd like. Maybe the knees are wide, maybe the knees are closer together. And then any position you'd like with the hands, reaching forward. Making room for the rib cage between the thighs. And just relax. Nice grounding pose. Take a couple more breaths here in your child's pose. And then just make your way back to tabletop. So guide the knees in so that they're beneath the hips and the hands are beneath the shoulders again. I'm going to take that straddle with the left foot now. The left leg is going to extend from the left hip. So you're lining up your left heel with your left hip and the foot's grounded down, that left foot. And we'll take a few cat-cows in this variation. So inhaling to lower the belly, gaze comes up, tailbone's high, and exhale, round through the spine. Work through a few more of these here. If it doesn't feel great, then just take really gentle cat-cow movements. Or just return, take yourself out of the straddle pose and just come back to traditional cat-cow from tabletop. Go about 3 more in each direction. And then find yourself back to a neutral spine. And we're going to thread the needle here. So grounding down through the left palm. And as you inhale, twist to the right. Maybe the gaze follows that right hand as it rises. And then as you exhale, just thread it through briefly without setting the shoulder down. And then inhale, right arm rises once more. And this time as you exhale, setting that right shoulder down, threading the needle here on the side. Settling into a version of this pose that works for you, that you're going to be able to hold for a few breaths, where you feel some sensation but no pain. Another breath. And then gently unwind using your left hand to ease yourself back. Tabletop arms. And from here, we're going to lift that leg again, that left leg. So it's going to feel pretty heavy. Let's lift it up from the hip. And then take it behind, setting the toe down and pivoting on the right knee. So send the right shin out, becomes a kickstand. Ground down through the right palm and then twist, reaching up with your left hand. And then reaching long with your left hand. Nice deep breaths here. Opening up that left side. And then we'll return the left hand to the mat. Come back to a version of tabletop with the left leg extended. And we're going to lift the left heel up to hip height. And just draw your attention to the hips so that they are parallel with the front of your mat. And then reach the right arm forward, coming into your spinal balance. Gaze is down towards your mat. And then a little bit of work here as 3 times we move the right arm out to the right, left leg over to the left, and back again. 2 more times on your own. And then place the right hand down on the mat, around the spine as you bend the left knee, bringing it towards your chin. And then step the left foot forward, finding yourself in a nice low lunge. And you might take the right knee back just a little bit. And you might bring your blocks in on either side of that left foot. So we're going to have contact here with the blocks or with the earth. As you lengthen through the spine, open the chest, and feel probably a nice opening sensation in the right hip flexor as well. Let's take another breath. And then we'll raise the arms here, sending the hips back just a little bit, finding our crescent moon. And then I'm going to bring my blocks back and use them again as an aid here as we lean right and left. So first we'll lean over to the right. We'll bring the right hand down either to the earth or to a block. Reaching long with the left arm. Leaning right. And then engage the core here as you draw slowly, carefully up to center. Arms are both high. And we'll take that to the other side. So left hand's going to come down, grounding to the earth or to a block. Right arm reaches long. Posture. Right ear. Use the core. Draw back up here to your crescent moon. Both arms are high. And then we'll bring the hands down to either side of that left foot. We'll take a twist. So you've got your right hand either on a block or grounded down to the earth, and your left hand will come to the inside of your left knee. You can walk that foot out a little bit if you like, or keep it where it is. You can come onto the blade edge of that foot as you gently press that left knee open, and then take a little twist, look over your left shoulder. Another breath. And then come back to that low lunge. I'll send the hips back here, lengthening the left leg. And again, just sort of thinking about really reaching back with that tailbone, almost like cow version of half splits. So lifting the heart and the tail. And then come forward into that low lunge. We'll take the left knee back to meet the right, and we'll make our way into child's pose once more. Keep the knees about hip distance this time. So if they were really wide before, just keep them at about hip distance. Reach the arms long in front, and we'll take about 4 breaths here, using this as our recovery pose, just to regroup, re-energize, reconnect with the breath. If it feels good to engage your Ujjayi breathing any point during practice or throughout practice, just a reminder that that's always there for you too. Just slightly constricting the back of the throat, making a slightly audible breath. Here, gaze forward to the hands. We're going to come forward, rounding the spine, and then lower the hips down to the earth. Arms are long. From here, round the spine, take the hips back to child's pose. And we'll do that about 2 more times. So inhaling to come forward, really round through the spine. And lower the hips, the pelvis, gaze forward, maybe up a little bit. Take a breath here, through the chest. Reach the tailbone long behind. We'll come back to child's again, slowly. And let's try that one more time. Round through the spine as you roll forward. Finding another cobra. And then send the hips back briefly to child's pose for 2 breaths. And from here, let's find our way to tabletop. And then we'll tuck the toes and take the hips up, finding our downward facing dog. And then just make it, because it's a gentle practice, just a gentle downward dog. Not forcing anything, maybe finding a pedaling motion with the legs and the feet. Moving as slowly as you'd like. From here, find stillness in the pose. And just think about your alignment. Think of yourself as an upside down V here. So release through the head. Nice long line from the crown to the tail. From the tail to the heels. Pressing the heels back. Pressing the arms away from you, palms away from you. Lifting the tailbone high. And then with some nice baby steps, we'll just walk the feet forward here to the hands. Nice bend in the knees. And find your ragdoll pose. So you can sway back and forth with the fingertips sweeping the earth in front of you. Or grasp opposite elbows. And then let's find stillness. Rise to a halfway lift. Create a little bit of length in the spine. And fold. And when you inhale next, just unwind the spine, coming up to stand. Arms will rise high. And then exhale the hands to the heart. Let's take a moment here in mountain pose. And just find your grounding through your feet, all 3 corners of each foot. Palms can face forward. Eyes can be closed if you like, if you're comfortable and the balance is okay. And just connect with your breath here, and you can make this as active or as passive as you'd like. So you're going to have your shoulders and hips stacked above your knees and ankles. If you want to, you can engage the triceps a little bit, and you can engage the quadriceps a little bit by raising the kneecaps, but it's not necessary. Take another nice deep breath here. Full inhale, full exhale. And on your next in-breath, let's sweep the arms up. And on your out-breath, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway. And exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back to your plank. From here, you can hold like this for a breath or two, or come to the knees. On your next out breath, we'll just bend the elbows and slowly lower the whole body right down to the mat. When you get there, untuck the toes. Inhale, press up to long arm cobra or baby cobra. You might want to come up into up dog. You take your hands back just a little bit, coming up onto the tops of the feet, lifting the hips, and release down to the mat. One more time on your next in-breath, coming up to baby cobra, cobra, or up dog. Holding here for a breath. And then lowering down to the earth. Let's take the left hand and just bend it at the elbow. Place the forearm just underneath your chin, sort of just in front of you to the front of your mat. And then bend into your right knee. And take your right hand back. You might grab your pant leg or your ankle. Your hand might reach your foot or your big toe or something. And you're going to press that foot into the hand. Lift the leg. Open the chest. Lifting the arm and the leg here. Coming into half bow. And take one more breath. And then slowly releasing. We'll take that on the other side. So bring that right forearm in front of the face, palm down. Bend into the left knee. And then reach back and grab something. And if your hand doesn't reach, you're just energetically moving that left heel towards your left glute. The hand reaches the foot, pressing the foot into the hand. Lifting the leg, opening through the chest, lifting the shoulders. Nice big breath in and out. And release your half bow on that side. From here, press back into child's pose. Come forward on an inhale into tabletop. Breathe out. And on your in-breath, tuck your toes, lift the hips high, finding your downward dog. Look forward between the hands, and we'll take some tiny steps, walking the hands forward once more. Rising to a halfway lift on your in-breath. Exhale, bow. And then inhale, rise all the way to stand. Arms come above. The palms together, and then hinge at the hips, folding forward with a long spine with your exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Step back, tall plank or from the knees. Breathe in. Exhale, lower down. And inhale, find any back bend. Cobra or up dog or sphinx. And exhale, back to child's. From here, we're going to come forward and find a seat. So we'll extend the legs in front. And a staff pose to start. I'll face you. So lengthen through the spine, ground down through the sit bones. Find a nice grounding there. And then we'll bend the right knee. We're going to cross the right foot over the left thigh. Find a twist from here. So you're going to twist to the right. So inhale, bring that left hand across. Maybe elbow comes to the outside of the right knee. Or maybe the right crook of the arm sort of hugs that right knee. The left crook of the arm hugs the knee. So find your version here. Twisting Using the right hand behind to support, so you're not leaning way back, still reaching tall through the crown, looking over your right shoulder. And then we'll unwind, come back to center. You can keep the right leg as it is and just do the exact same twist again, or you can try a different version if you like. So if that one worked for you, great. Do that again. You can bend into your left knee, and you can stay like this and twist, or you can stack your right knee over top of your left knee. Have a bit more like a pretzel here. This is cow face legs. So if that works for you, you can do that and twist. Another option from here is to fold forward. So I'm going to give you some time here just to figure out what version you'd like to take. So either the version that we did or any of the other variations that I've offered or anything else that feels good to you. And then just find out what your body needs. And it might be different on the other side when we do the other side. So just see how this side feels. Wherever you are, we'll take about 3 more breaths. Wherever you are, just come out of the pose, gently raising the body and then unwinding the legs. Just take a little, any movement that feels good here, maybe rocking back and forth on the heels, or maybe bringing the knees up and taking a bit of a swishing windshield wiper motion with the knees. And we'll come into those poses on the other side. So this time we'll lengthen through the right leg, then into the left knee, and then bring that left foot to cross the right thigh. And we'll take our first twist like this, and your second if you like as well. So bringing the right hand across this time, maybe hugging that left knee in the crook of the arm, or bringing the elbow to the outside of the left knee. Using that elbow for a little bit of leverage to deepen the twist, if that feels good, looking over the left shoulder. Lengthening through the spine and breathing deeply. And then we'll unwind. And you can take that same version again, or you can pretzel the legs a little bit. Whatever feels good. And then, like I said, it's different for me, one side to the other. So whatever version you'd like to take. So you could take a twist again, or you could fold forward. You could do one and then the other. Just give yourself time to explore in the pose. Breathing deeply, because it can be an intense one. Take 1 or 2 more nice deep breaths wherever you find yourself, in whatever version. And then gently come out. Just ease your way out, unwinding the legs, lengthening them in front of you again, or maybe finding a little windshield wiper motion with the knees bent. We're going to come to a supine position now. So just find your way sort of midway on your mat so that your body is fully on your mat when you release down. And it'll slowly release down, just making your way down on your own time, but engaging the abdominals all the way down. From here, we'll bend into the knees. Take the knees wide, so knees come towards the armpits. And then take your hands on the inside. So take your arms to the insides of your knees and thighs and calves. And then grab onto something. So that could be your ankles. It could be the insides or the outsides of your feet. And then bring your feet, raise your feet up towards the sky. So happy baby. If this feels like a different version than you've taken before, just give it a try. Maybe keeping the legs fairly passive here, but using the elbows as a little bit of leverage to open further through the hips and the inner thighs. If it doesn't feel good to you, then just take whatever version of happy baby you're used to, whatever feels good. And from here, you can introduce a little rocking motion if that feels nice. Let's find stillness. And then keep hold of the right foot or ankle with the right hand. Release the left leg. Let it come long on your mat and release your left arm long overhead. Just really lengthening and stretching through the left side. Maybe deepening the opening in the right side in your half, happy baby. One more breath. And we'll come back into happy baby with the left hand and foot. And lengthen, reaching long to one end of your mat with your right leg and right arm reaching the opposite direction. Holding and half happy baby on the left side. Really stretching and lengthening the right side. Feeling the blood flowing again in that right side. And then bend into the right knee. Place the right sole of the foot on the mat. Release the left leg from half happy baby. Place the left sole of the foot on the mat. Knees are both bent. Take the feet to either edge of your mat, to either side of your mat, and then bring the arms up to cactus and just come into that psoas, swish that windshield wiper motion here. Slowly from side to side, noticing sensation from the hip to the knee. And we'll go with 2 more each side. From here, if there's any other pose you'd like to take, any other position that you feel your body could benefit from before Shavasana, go ahead and do that now. Or you can come right into Shavasana, so begin to set yourself up with any props, clothing. And when you are ready for your Shavasana, trying to find comfort, ease, stillness, release, getting nice and comfy and warm. We'll start by softening the gaze or closing the eyes, again going inwards here. Softening across the brow. The little muscles around the eyes, release. Allow any expression around the mouth to just melt away, soften the jaw, the tongue, the throat. And allow this release of energy to start to travel down your body. The neck, chest, shoulders, shoulder blades. Ribs, belly, arms, hands. Allow the energy to flow and release as you notice each part of your body with your mind's eye. Thighs, hips, knees, shins and calves, ankles and feet soften. Now just allow your focus to rest on anywhere that you feel might need a little bit of extra attention tonight, or encouragement to release, let go. Just allow yourself to be with this stillness and this peace in the next few moments in your Shavasana. As you gently begin to release your Shavasana, just allow a gentle reawakening of the body in whatever way feels natural for you. Small movements in whatever way feels intuitive. And if you'd rather just stay right where you are, by all means, if you have the time and the space, please stay. Enjoy a lengthened Shavasana. If you'd like to come up to seated, then gently make your way there. Maybe rolling over onto one side first. And we'll take a breath here as we close. Let's inhale, raise the arms up. And exhale, draw the palms down towards the heart. Maybe close the eyes for a final moment here. Inward reflection. Maybe a thought of inspiration or hope, peace, gratitude, whatever comes to mind. Thank you all so much for showing up to practice together tonight. I hope that going forward your week is ease-filled and peace-filled. Namaste.